Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about change. So, I've gone through massive change in my life, and I wanted to make a video about it and talk to you about it and give you tips and ideas into what you can do in order to change as well. And I wanted to tell you the realistic things that, in fact, made difference, not just like textbook, oh, do this, do that, not things like that, but realistic things that did help me change in about 30 days, in about a month. Let's start from the beginning. What made me want to change? So I felt like I was in a phase where I was like not completely lost, but also not where I wanted to be. Like I was stuck in between. It was like a weird phase. I'm not going forward, but also I'm not going backwards as well. Like there's just no motion whatsoever. I know I could be doing more. I know I could be living my life in a better way. But to be honest, nothing was bad enough for me to change. My life was just normal. So I gave myself around 30 days to change. I just decided to be better version. I wasn't planning on fixing everything suddenly out of nowhere. I just wanted to see if I could become a better version of myself. And from my experience, these are the 5 things that actually made a difference. I know it is a myth. I know some people don't believe it, but very strangely, in a very weird way, this is in fact true. I stopped telling people my plans. This is not about evil eye. This is not about bad energy. This is not about like something like that. This is more so I realized when I would tell people that, for example, I'm planning to go for a trip. Yes, when you consider evil eye, when you consider negative energy, let's say I'm trying to go to a trip and like some problems happen and I can't go, I could at the time think of it as a negative energy. But there were times where I would tell people that I really want to go to a trip, I really want to go to this country. And then I myself would stop trying to plan for it, go for it. I don't know, just actually lose the motivation to go. And this has made me realize something weird. When we are saying that we will do it, in a weird way, I guess our brain comprehends it as, oh, we've already done it. So you don't feel like you have to put in the effort for it anymore. Or on the other hand, it could be something like this where you start feeling like it's too much now because it becomes too realistic. There's expectation. There are people expecting you to be there. You can look at it from a perspective like when you say it out loud, you're already getting the satisfaction of as if you have done it, to feeling immense pressure that now because you have said it out loud, you have to do it. And in my case, when I feel like I'm forced to do something, I don't want to do it anymore. Or when I sometimes say things out loud, it feels like, yeah, I've already done it. It feels like it's already accomplished. Then again, I don't want to do it anymore. So for 30 days, I stopped looking for validation. I stopped telling my plans. I didn't announce anything. This doesn't mean I stopped talking to my friends or people around me. This just means that I didn't say anything unnecessary. I just did things quietly. And once I was done with it, then my friends, people around me, learned about it. That, yeah, I am doing this. Yeah, I'm planning this. Yeah, I'm going here. I'm gonna get this done and stuff like that. And this is what I noticed genuinely. When no one knows what you're doing or what you're planning, you yourself, I myself, work very differently. There is no pressure to perform, there is no need to prove anything, and the progress feels more real. Another thing I changed big time is I changed how I responded in conversations. Now, you might be questioning it like, what do you mean? Most of my energy usually would go into conversations where I was trying to appeal to the person in front of me. I would over explain things. I would try to fill the silence. I would laugh at things that are not even funny. I would do everything just to keep things smoothly. So I would overplay my role in that specific situation, in that specific conversation. I would tell things from my life that I don't even have to, just so there will be something to talk about. Now, don't misunderstand me. This is not because I love talking. I love listening to people. I can sit there and listen to you for listen for 3 hours nonstop if anyone needs to talk to me about anything, and I would be there for them. But you know those situations where if you don't talk, it's just awkward silence. You feel like if you don't try hard enough, laugh more, give more, it just doesn't feel good. So I just started being different. I paused more. I wouldn't unnecessarily say things from my life, from myself. I didn't rush to respond. I didn't explain myself unless I felt like I wanted to. Trust me, at first it did feel uncomfortable. It felt like I'm acting out of character, and to people in front of me, it felt like I was acting out of character as well. But those who genuinely valued me and those who genuinely wanted to stay in my life did end up understanding that this is just a boundary that I'm trying to set up for my own good. And those who didn't accept who I was becoming and didn't accept this version of me just had to leave my life. And you know what? I was never bad at communicating. It's just most of the time I was overplaying my role in that conversation. I stopped acting based on my mood. I used to make decisions based on how I felt at the moment. Those decisions could be completely out of character, but at the moment, if I felt like it, I would do it. If I felt tired, I delayed things. If I didn't feel like it, I skipped it. If I wasn't in the mood, I completely avoided it. Now, you can question it and be like, but it sounds harmless. It sounds like you care for yourself and you're trying to be nice to yourself. That's where you're wrong. Over time, this kind of behavior builds habit, builds a character that is unstable and doesn't have any discipline. Imagine this: you have decided that you are going to apply for a really famous college, let's say Ivy League. Do you think that you can get into an Ivy League if you study based on your mood swings? If you're trying to get a job and today you just don't feel like applying, you might actually lose a great job opportunity to someone else because they decided to apply on that specific day. These are just very simple real life examples. When we act based on our mood, people in front of us don't take us seriously. In our social life, at home, in our friendships, we become unstable people. And it starts giving you, your nervous system, anxiety because you don't know what's going to happen. And look, you lose track of your character. I'll give you an example like this. If you're not the type of person that likes to drink alcohol, let's say, but you've started living your life according to your mood, and you're in a setting where you would usually avoid drinking alcohol, but because you're in a bad mood, let's say, or in a good mood, doesn't matter, you are suddenly in a mood that wants alcohol, but your character is not that, and then suddenly you're like, okay, I'll drink. It's like you're betraying your own self, and the next day you're going to regret it because you acted out of character just based on your mood. And then that's going to become a loop. That's going to lead to self hatred. That's going to lead into self sabotage. So, for 30 days, I stopped asking, do I feel like doing this? I started asking, does this action, event, person, whatever, suit my character? I know who I am. I know what is okay for me and what is not okay for me. So let's say going to a club. Is this really me? Is this really my character? Do I really align with it? So instead, I could be in a mood at the time to go dance, even drink, whatever. Is that really in my character to do it? You know, it sounds very simple. It sounds easy. In fact, it is hard because it's kind of like temptations that you have to control. Acting due to your mood is very easy. Controlling that is definitely hard. But trust me, once you do that, your relationship changes with yourself 100%. You stop being someone who reacts to emotions and start being someone who follows through. This helps you in your professional, educational, family, social life, in your relationships, in all areas of your life. I think this is one of the hardest ones that people who used to grow up in a perfectionist mindset deal with. But basically, I let myself be seen trying. A lot of the time, we're not stuck because we don't know what to do. We're stuck because we don't want to look bad about it. So, what am I trying to say? We don't want to look like beginners. We don't want people to judge us. We don't want to fail publicly. So we stay in this almost phase, almost trying, almost starting, almost changing. For me, that was keeping me in the same place. I always felt like I had to be good at sports, games, anything that I started. But unless you're extremely genius or a very, very special person, it is in fact hard to be good at, I don't know, everything that you do. It takes practice, it takes effort, and it is okay to be a beginner at things. It is okay to learn. We're humans. We start as babies and we learn our way through life. That is the nature of the things. That is nature of us. But of course, my perfectionist mindset, my inability to understand that things take time and that within time I would be good at things. So I just made a decision that I was going to let myself be seen trying. Even if it's messy, even if it's not impressive, it's okay. I'm learning. And I know that people in front of me, they're not good at everything as well. So it's okay. I can be seen trying. I can learn from people who know better than me. This is not a deficit. It's good thing that I want to know, that I want to learn, that I want to improve. And look, honestly, nothing bad happened. No one really cared as much as I thought they would. Just because I'm not perfect or I'm not extremely good at one game or a sport or something specific doesn't mean that I'm a failure as a person. I have things I'm good at and I'm just learning how to do this new hobby, let's say. And when I wasn't hiding anymore under the almost phase, I started respecting myself more for trying, for starting, for learning. I stopped waiting for a big change feeling. I don't know if it's just me or everyone else, but I always felt like there had to be like this big dramatic change feeling. Like one day I'm gonna wake up and feel different, feel this surge of energy, and like my life will be different. More motivated, more confident, more energetic. But that genuinely never happened. Maybe one day, but it wouldn't really follow through. That burst of energy wouldn't follow through. I just started doing things in small steps at a time, replying instead of delaying, starting instead of thinking and planning about it, speaking instead of staying silent. And every small moments I took did in fact lead to a change. So for the 30 days, I decided to myself that no matter how I wake up today, no matter what, I will not wait for something big and drastic and dramatic to happen. I will just take small steps each and every day in order to change. Trust me, those moments, those small moments that you think that are not so important, they add up and you change. You're not the same person anymore because of all those small changes. So to finish this video, I wanted to remind you that I didn't completely change my whole life in 30 days, but I changed how I react, how I act, how I relate, and how I am in small ways, which did in fact shift my life. It changed so many more things in my life. If you feel stuck right now, don't look for a dramatic reset. Try changing in small steps for 30 days. And let me know if there are other good tips and ways to change that I haven't mentioned that you discover by yourself. Thank you for watching my video and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.